Good morning, dear students. Welcome to the class. Today we will continue the chapter Light, Reflection and Refraction. So before talking about the rules of forming the image, we will see what is an image, what is an object, what are these virtual and real images, because these words will be coming consistently in this chapter. So image. An image may be defined as the point, that point where the light rays coming from an object meet or appears to meet after reflection or refraction. That's how an image is formed. In the definition word for object, it may be defined as anything which gives out light rays. The objects can be of two types, very small object and large object or extended objects. Small objects are represented by a dot because this theory only we are going to apply in the chapter. Small objects are represented by a dot in the ray diagram, while the large objects can be represented by an arrow pointing in upward direction. Clear? So this can be a small image and this, sorry, small object, and this is serving as a big object or a large object. Now, what are the real images? Real images were the images which were that image which is formed when the light rays coming from an object actually meet each other after reflection or refraction. The real image is always inverted. The common example of real image is the image formed in the cinema screen. It is always inverted. This is your real image. Even the image which is formed by our eyes is also real. It is also inverted. Now, how we get to see the person in an upright position? That is because of the uh, brain. Brain then transmits the signal and gives the illusion that it is straight. Then we have the virtual image. Virtual image is that image which is formed when the light rays coming from an object do not actually meet but appear to meet when produced backwards. That's why virtual images are represented by the dashed line. Real images are represented by the straight line. Okay. Now here is a small table which is telling you the difference between the real image and virtual image. Real image is that image which is formed when light rays coming from an object actually meet. Actually meet. This word is very important. And a virtual image is an image when the light rays coming from an object do not actually meet but appear to meet. Appear to meet. Only these two words. Real actually meet and virtual appear to meet. Real images can be obtained on screen. Virtual cannot be obtained on screen. They are always inverted. They are always erect. Erect means straight. Inverted will be your this image and erect will be the straight upward position. Okay. The common example of real image is formed. Example is the cinema screen, like you people go to watch the movies there only. And the common example of virtual image is the image formed in the mirror when we stand in front of the mirror. They are talking about the plane mirror, so there also the virtual image is formed. The principal axis of a spherical mirror. Although the definition is given, just look here once again. The straight line passing through the pole and center of curvature of a spherical mirror and extending on both sides is called the principal axis. This is actually an imaginary line. Just like equator we talk now in your earth or in your globe, we have an equator. Same way for this spherical mirror, an imaginary line which passes through center of curvature and pole of the mirror is called the principal axis. So you have both the mirrors here. This is your concave mirror and this is your convex mirror, and both of them are showing the principal axis. They actually consider it as a hollow glass. Hollow glass means a ball which is made up of glass. Okay, just imagine a ball which is made up of glass and we are cutting this part of the ball and then we are polishing this part. This part actually, wherever the lines are there, it means polished surface. Okay, so one is the polished surface and the other one will be, this will be the reflecting surface. So all the reflection will take place from this side, not from the polished side. Now, principal focus of spherical mirrors. The principal focus of the concave mirror. In the case of concave mirror, all the light rays which are parallel to the principal axis appear to converge after reflection and meet at a point. So how are we getting the principal focus of the concave mirror? This is your concave mirror, as you can see, and this is your convex mirror. So the light which is parallel to the principal axis, okay, this is your incident light. Then after reflection, what happens after reflection? They come and meet at a particular point. Again, this is the parallel to principal axis. After reflection, all of them, they come and meet at a particular point. That point is called the focus. So now here, since this is a concave mirror, they are meeting at a point. And for the principal focus of the convex mirror, the line parallel to the principal axis, okay, it incident on the spherical mirror, and when it reflects in such a way so that when you extend it backward, they all meet at a point. That is your focus. That is what is written here. In the case of convex mirror, all the light rays which are parallel to the principal axis appear to diverge. So here they are actually converging. Converging means meeting at a point. This is your converge. And diverge means extending, okay, expanding themselves. So both are opposite of each other. We extend all the reflected rays in backward direction by dotted lines, so they appear to meet at a point F. This point is called the principal focus of convex mirror. Very important. They can ask you how the principal focus of a concave mirror is obtained or how the principal focus of a convex mirror is obtained. Explain with the diagram. Now we have rules of obtaining images formed by spherical mirrors. The very important topic of today. Now we have 4 rules. Okay, and out of them any 2 rules can be used to any 2 rules will help in locating image. So what are the rules? First, what is the first rule? A ray of light which runs parallel to the principal axis. This is your principal axis. This line is your principal axis, isn't it? So a ray of light parallel to the principal axis. This line is going parallel to the principal axis. After reflection, passes through focus of concave mirror. This is again a ray of light parallel to the principal axis. Then it will be reflected because this part is the reflecting surface. It is reflected back, and after reflection it should pass through the focus. That is the first rule. And this is for concave mirror. For convex mirror, a ray of light parallel to the principal axis after reflection will appear to pass or to come from the focus. Actually, ray of light is coming parallel to the principal axis. Okay, this is how it came. Now it is getting reflected back. Okay, this much is fine. But when you extend it, it will meet at the focus. That is what the rule is saying. So what are you going to learn in it? A ray of light parallel, this is the principal axis, ray of light parallel to the principal axis after reflection passes through focus. Ray of light parallel to the principal axis after reflection passes through focus. Second rule is saying a ray of light passes through center of curvature. Center of curvature, this is the principal axis. Now a ray of line passing through center of curvature goes undeviated or follow the same path. If you see here, they are both coming also and going also. So in a concave mirror or a ray of light going towards the center of curvature for a convex mirror is reflected back along the same path. This is for concave mirror, this is for convex mirror. You can see that only single ray is there because it is going through this direction, and then what is happening, it is coming back in the same direction. Third rule says it is just the opposite of the first one. A ray of light passing through focus of a concave mirror or appearing to pass through the focus of a convex mirror becomes parallel to principal axis after reflection. So a ray of light is coming, passing through the focus. Okay, it came and it strike the mirror and it is reflecting back and becomes parallel to the principal axis. Suppose from here if I say a ray of light passing through the focus, it went, then it will follow the reflection rule and it will become parallel to the principal axis. Clear? That's what the rule is saying. Now a ray of light passing through focus. So let us say a ray is going. So a ray of light which is going to focus after reflection becomes parallel to principal axis. This is your principal axis. One more last rule is there, where when a ray incident obliquely to the principal axis towards a point P, means this was the pole, pole was the center of the mirror. So if a ray of light is passing through pole, after reflection, it follows the rules of reflection and it makes the same angle. This was the incident angle and this is the reflected angle, and angle I is equal to angle R. That's how the ray is passing back. That's what they are saying here. Passing through the pole of the mirror on the concave mirror or a convex mirror is reflected obliquely, means at which angle it comes to the pole, with the same angle it will come back from the pole. The incident, the reflected rays follow the laws of reflection at the point of incidence P, making equal angles with the principal axis. So we studied 4 laws there today, and any 2 will help you in locating the image. That was all for today, my dear students. Just go through the book, learn the 4 rules of locating the image. In the next class, we will see how the image is formed in concave mirrors. Please make the notes neatly. Thank you. Have a nice day.